What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about the Assassin's Creed Valhalla DLC. Go over what we get for it, and also talk about the value, if it's going to actually be worth it. And honestly, my thoughts on it are kind of conflicting, so this may turn into like an angry kind of thing. This may turn into an understanding kind of thing. With that being said, I'm definitely open to all avenues of thought, so if you disagree with me, or if you do agree with me, totally cool. It's awesome. I'm definitely a place for multiple, again, avenues of thought. So, pretty much, we're not going to spend that much time breaking it down. I want to get into more of the discussion about it. But the DLC, or the Season Pass, okay, is going to be $40. Now, this is in, obviously, U.S. currency. $40, and you're going to have two main expansions, right? Two. One in the spring, one in the summer, right? One of which, the Wrath of the Druids, takes you to Ireland, which is more of an exploratory kind of place with a little mystery involved. And then also the Siege of Paris, which is a massive, like the biggest Viking raid on a place like ever, okay? That's, I guess, more attack or action heavy, okay? And you also get a bonus quest, which is like a werewolf kind of quest, okay? Now, with that being said, I think it would be unfair kind of to talk about this without going over some of the definite, the absolute, that we all know, positives that they're doing, is they're going to have constant updates to this game where they're going to add things for free, okay? Seasonal events, things in general that will enhance the player experience, even for those that don't have the Season Pass, okay? So the Season Pass is $40, and then also you get it if you buy the Gold or Ultimate Edition, which I believe is $100 and $120. So if you buy either of those, you get the DLC included, which is like, okay, but technically you are spending that amount of money anyway, so does it really make all that much sense? Normally, here's how it normally works, and this kind of does get into the more upsetting part, but again, I do have conflicting thoughts. What I will say is this, though. Normally, when you have DLC that's included in like an Ultimate or Gold, whatever edition of a game, you'll normally get it for cheaper than if you were to just purchase it. So Assassin's Creed is only $60, but if you buy the Gold, which is $100, yes, you get more than just the deal. Okay, so they do give you additional value, I guess, but for the most part, you're spending $40 extra, and by like coincidence, you're getting a $40 DLC with it, okay? Same thing with the Ultimate, is you're getting a lot more stuff. You're spending $120, you're getting a lot more stuff, but you're also getting $40, so then is the rest of the stuff they're giving you worth $20, I guess, basically is the question, right? So, again, conflicting thoughts. Here's what I'll say. I think these expansions are going to be big. It's not like they're just single quests. It's not like they're going to take you 35, 40 minutes or like an hour, and then you're going to be done with them. If that was the case, if we were getting like that werewolf mission and then just like a couple of those, that would be alarming. That would be, in a very, very negative way, alarming, because who's going to spend, or nobody should, I should say that, spend $40 for a season pass to get kind of these one-off quests that don't do a lot. Again, you tend to look to comparables when you have something like this happen. So one of the ones I can think of is like The Witcher. Witcher 3 is a really good example of DLCs just done so amazingly well. Even Horizon had like the Frozen Wilds, which was phenomenal. Really good DLC, really good value for your money. You could even look at like Spider-Man. Spider-Man's DLCs were a lot cheaper. They were a little bit shorter too. So you can come up with example after example after example. I will say, like in a normal case, I'd probably trust them and say, okay, if you're going to give us two expansions, and again, they seem big. You'd imagine there is more to these expansions than just one mission, right? There's got to be a couple different quests. There's obviously got to be a really, really big cinematic moment, or like a quest moment in the game, okay? And for both of these, I guess, right? Expansion Pack 1 and Expansion Pack 2. Really, I guess if you count the werewolf one, but if we're really looking at the two expansion packs, you could imagine, okay, $20 each. Or if we want to say maybe the werewolf mission is worth like $5, then you have to do 35. So now you're looking at like the $17 range, $17.50 each expansion, okay? Are they going to be worth it? I think they absolutely could. I just think that it is always a opportunity for success, and it's always opportunity for failure. Whenever you have something like this, there is the potential that you're going to mess up big time, that it's going to blow up in your face. And Ubisoft doesn't have, well, firstly, they don't have the greatest track record at a lot of things, but secondly, it's not the greatest time to be looking at Ubisoft in a positive light, right? Most people look at them in a negative way now, which, I don't like just hopping on bandwagons just to hop on them, right? I mean, Ubisoft has done a lot of things wrong. They also, though, have done a lot of things right. Like, I'm so excited, as you guys probably know if you watch these videos, right? I'm super pumped for Watch Dogs. I'm super pumped for Assassin's Creed. I'm excited to play this game. I'm more excited for Watch Dogs, but, I think Ubisoft can do a lot of really great things. Watch Dogs DLC actually is probably the right way. You look at what Watch Dogs is going to do with their DLC, both free and their season pass. That actually seems like a spectacular value. Maybe kind of maybe makes Assassin's Creed's look a little worse, right? Maybe a little bit weaker. So it's tough. It's definitely tough, obviously, to talk about something before we even get it. Clearly, once we get these DLCs in the spring and summer, it'll be a situation where we can look at it and evaluate and say, okay, were these expansions basically worth around $20 each? I guess the biggest thing to me is I don't 100% mind it. Again, looking at The Witcher, looking at Spider-Man, you can go down the list, right? There's a lot of them. Like, a lot of them have done it right, a lot of them have done it well. Even like the Batman Arkham Knight season pass one, that was a massive one. But the issue is, or like Battlefields, remember when Battlefields used to have like $50 season passes? That right there actually is a really good segue into what I wanted to say to end this, okay? My main issue with DLCs is when they get too close in price to the main game. No matter how much value you put to a season pass or a DLC or whatever you want to call it, okay? Whether it's like a part of a season pass, so it's a DLC, or just the entire thing. When you put it too close, okay, $30 is already getting close because, if the game is 60, but yet again, now games are going to be 70, so now we have to judge things differently. If there's a game that's 70 and there's a season pass that's 30, well, now we're not actually half. It's not actually half of the game, right? Now it's a slightly less than half. But before, if it was $60 and you had a $50 DLC or $50 season pass, you are basically buying the game again, and then you need to make the mental decision on your own. Nobody can stop you. You need to make the decision on, is what I'm getting pretty much equivalent to the base game? You know what I mean? That's where even the games that I love, again, like Frozen Wilds, The Witcher's DLCs, which are, I think, often looked at as like the best one, I still look at them as, am I getting enough value in percentage of what I'm paying? And if I were to like make that bigger, would I reach the value of the base game? Now, I said that probably in the worst, that was pretty confusing in the worst way possible. But you guys get what I mean? If the DLC is $50 and I'm buying it, but I already bought the $60 game, that DLC really needs to be good because it basically needs to be another game. And in my mind, that oftentimes is not reached. It can be reached when you have $10, when you have $20, even when you have $30. It's when you get, ironically, even for the case of Assassin's Creed here, when you get to the $40 mark, even with the game 70, even if we want to say, down the line when all games are $70, when your DLC is 40, you are more than half you're paying more than half of what you paid for the base game, okay? So you need, I would say, 50% or more, actually ideally more, value from that DLC in comparison to the base game. And that's where I think a game like Assassin's Creed probably won't do it. You know what I mean? Now again, does that make it a bad season pass? Will that make these expansions suck? Not necessarily, but at the end of the day, if I'm spending $60 for Assassin's Creed, now I'm spending $40, I'm almost buying, that's like that's pretty much 2/3, okay? I'm spending 2/3 again. I need 2/3 the value, and am I going to get 2/3 the value with 2 expansions? Even though they're cool, even though I really like the sound of that Paris one, I don't know. And in fact, I don't think so, especially in this situation, right? With that being said, I don't want to be overly negative because it's not out yet. We don't know how good it's going to be. It could be amazing. It could be the best DLC ever made, in mankind, right? Could also be terrible. Could also just be average, in which case I would also say wouldn't be worth it, right? But we'll have to wait and see. So, guys, let me know in the comments below. What do you think? What do you think about this, the DLC? Do you think it's too highly priced? Do you think it's too expensive? Let me know. Make sure, as always, you guys are subscribed to this channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. And I do a brand new video on this channel every single day. And so I hope to see you guys for tomorrow's video.